lanes, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
Hey guys, what's going on? How you guys doing today? Hopefully you had a better Monday than I had, because it's been a doozy. Hey Alex, how's your day been?
Better than yours, I hope.
Hey,
oh my
speaking
goodness.
of which, hey there, first of all, the E Nicole, I don't want to forget the E. Hey there, girl. Yes. This show is awesome. I love it. LNV, 18 member, hey, and moderator extraordinaire. Yes, please like this video on your way in. We gotta do something. These likes are like free 99. Can you guys give me a like over here? Girl is struggling.
Man, can you give us a super chat? Somebody give us a super chat.
I know that's right. Yeah, become a member. Support the content that you love. You know.
Yeah. That's it.
Hey, what's going on with that? What's going on? Monique, Ellen, you guys will get them in line, hopefully. And guys, and thank you for those of you who have subscribed, who have become members, who are supporting the channel and letting us know that you appreciate and enjoy the content that Alex and I are producing over here. We want to thank you. Right, Alex?
Yes, ma'am. We want to thank everybody. And I see Mocha Mima's in the room already.
Oh Lord, wait a minute. You gotta read this because I can't even see this. This is making my eyes hurt right here.
See Mocha Mima, she's starting already. Team Marie. Now she know Marie is petty. She know Marie is petty. You know that, Mocha.
Petty AF, like for real. Yeah. I ain't gonna even hold you up. Marie is petty AF. But you know what? And we're gonna discuss it as we get into it. I think I finally figured out why Marie is as petty as she is, and it's given me a certain feeling of grace for her, and we'll get into that in a while, you know. But I do. I kind of have a feeling of grace and a better understanding as I watched it and rewatched this episode, and just really thinking about how she behaved last season too. I mean, she's definitely got, you know, I think some of her childhood issues, you know, I think it makes a difference. That's all.
You know, I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage because I didn't see last season. So I just saw the first episode of this season and the second episode.
Okay.
But I do have a little bit of background from the first episode and when they previewed some of the things from last season just to get people kind of caught up.
Right.
So so I do have some insight, but not a lot.
Okay, and you can read this one about Mocha. What she saying?
Yeah, I see Mocha. Mocha says, "I'm petty as boop."
Exactly, Mocha. I see you out there.
That's why she likes Marie.
And you know, I get it. Marie has like a certain gravitas. She's a very beautiful woman. You know, I think, I don't know. Tell me, Mocha, you can write it in the chat. Did she actually like define or more define her figure or her curves this season? Because I'm thinking that she looks like she maybe did change up on us a little bit. Let me know, guys, in the chat if you guys see what I'm talking about, or maybe I'm missing the mark. Let me know that too. But
no, she just pulled the girdle a little bit tighter.
Oh, you know what? You know, you need to stop. You need to stop. But anyway, but I see Mocha. I see what you might, you know, because she's powerful. She's a powerful lady. She's got a big personality, very big personality, and I think she has a big heart because look at it. She's taking care of her son's kids. You know, I think sometimes these ladies sometimes they do a little bit too much, but we're gonna get into that too, right?
Take care of the son's kids and him.
And him. Well, you know, he's a college student, so I can see that. But
he's making babies. You making babies, man up.
that we're gonna talk about all of that. LMV says Marie deserves all the grace. I don't know about all the grace, but I think she does definitely. We all deserve some grace because none of us are perfect, right? None of us are perfect here. We're just human beings trying to do the best we can and maybe try to help somebody along the way.
Yeah, trying to find our
Um,
way. Everybody's trying to find their way.
trying to find their way. LMV has a suggestion for you. Want to read that, and we're going to go ahead and get
Oh,
into the
oh,
notes.
Alex just watched the reunion. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll go to my app and I'll check that out.
Okay, yeah, because it does give a lot. Like it's a two-parter, but yeah, if you watch part one and part two, you'll be pretty much caught up, really.
Okay.
Okay, so
You got your notes ready? Because Roro is here. Once Roro gets in the room, you got to be real. Get real with it.
is Roro? I didn't see any comments for her. I just switched over
Oh,
to another section, so I'm in the notes section, so I can't see now. Okay,
yeah,
all right,
Roro's
yeah,
here.
all right, okay. So I'm gonna let you read that because it's been just that kind of day while I get my beverage and sip it. Go ahead
Okay.
and read that note, and we'll get started on discussing it.
Okay, we open with Letitia and Glenn talking about his infidelity and a possible outside child. Has Letitia outgrown Glenn? She seems to think that he will change. He seems to be self-centered and immature. Wow, you said a mouthful there.
Right. So we're gonna take it bit by bit. We're gonna start with the fact that they're sitting there having a conversation about his infidel. I should have put infidelities because I'm sure it's
Yeah.
probably more than one. But but we'll say infidelities. And a possible outside baby. I don't know.
How long did it take him to just say no? That's why I don't believe
say
him.
Say no to what? What do you mean? Say
Because to the
when she asked
baby,
him when she asked him about that outside baby.
right?
Oh yeah, I know. I don't believe him. I don't believe like he's saying, well, if I have a baby and if it was mine, I'd be paying child support. I don't buy that. There's a lot of women out here who are single mothers who struggle every day, and they know who the father of their child is. It's not that they don't know, but they decide for whatever reason. Maybe he's married, and we don't know because this guy is making money. He's earning good money. He's a longshoreman or whatever that kind of job that he has. I know
That's
that
good
job
money.
it pays well, right?
Yep.
And so we don't know that he's giving her money under the table. We don't know that. I think that's probably what's happening. So for him to say, well, because I'm not paying child support doesn't means that I don't have a child. That's BS. That's craziness. Who
Right.
says that?
Yeah.
Who
And,
says that?
and he says over the years, which is probably a lie, he's been keeping touch with her off and on, trying to get a paternity test. So
Yeah, I'm
it's
not
like,
buying
really,
that.
not buying that either.
Mm-mm.
So if you're that concerned, you must know you're the father,
Right.
or there's a high probability that you're the father. And
Right.
why haven't you told Letitia you've been calling her off and on for 8 years to try to find out if you're the dad or not?
And that's what Letitia says to him. She says, well, wait a minute. You never brought any of this to my attention. I had to find this out through my own devices and my own, looking into it. I had to find this out. And that's the thing. When a person is backhanded, they're suspect, they're keeping information from you. She's his wife, she's his partner in life, they have a child together, they have a whole bunch of things that they're doing together, and you don't tell them. That tells me that there's a lot more to it than what you're saying.
And you know what, too? This is the problem when you get involved deeply at 17 years old. You don't know any better. You don't know who you are. Your brain isn't fully formed. You don't even know what you like or don't like. You don't know anything at 17. So you get yourself in all this love and romance and children and this, and he's the only one, and the world is yours, and the universe is mine, and all this BS at 17 years old. And you get this person, no matter how toxic, you get them so entrenched in your spirit. It's hard to get them out when you get to be 27, 28, 30 years old, 35 years old. You can't get them out. They've taken up residence in your spirit.
Okay, but let's go along with that a little bit further in a different path. So these are two people, right? And we know that yes, they got together at 17 years old. Decided that they were in love with each other, and I guess at some point, I don't know, I don't recall. Somebody in the chat, because I'm relatively new to Bell Collective too, and I did my homework to watch first season, but Tell me in the chat if you know how many years married this couple has. Do they have like 10 years? I see a little boy who looks about what? That little boy of theirs looks about 6, 7 years old, maybe
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
8.
so, somewhere between 6 and 8.
6 and 8. Okay, so I'm gonna assume. Let me just say maybe they're married 9, 10 years, right? So I think I don't know how old she is, but I'm just gonna guess from the appearance, maybe close to 40, late
Mm,
30s, maybe
mm.
40. So I don't know if they've been together. When you say you give this broad statement of people that get together as teenagers and how it basically to you can never work because their brain is not fully developed, and that's
Mm.
what you're meaning when you say not fully cooked. It's
Yep.
a phrase that you use, fully cooked, but
Mm-hmm.
you're saying that it's not fully developed. But people like my godparents who are married over 70 plus years, 75 years, have been together since their teenage years, and they don't have this problem.
You know how rare
So,
that is, Aubery?
so,
Come on
so,
now. Come on now.
well, you know what? But wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. I didn't interrupt you while you spoke.
Mm,
So
mm-hmm.
can I finish?
Sure, Puddin'.
So what I'm saying is, I don't buy that. I think this is a Glenn problem, and we need to accept and acknowledge that it's a Glenn problem. There are other men that have done it. Yes, it's their problem. It's an individual case by case basis. There are plenty of people that are happily married that dated at 17, 18, in their 20s, in college and high school. Don't just put that on everybody, okay? Because that's not fair. Because that's not your experience. That doesn't mean that that's not other people's experience, that they don't have a happy marriage. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying.
You know
Okay?
what? And listen.
Because you
I
always come
listen.
at it from okay,
I,
but
I I
go
agree.
ahead. Go
I can agree that
ahead. Okay.
those occasions where those marriages that people get married at 18 and 19, they can
I
last a lifetime. Okay, and they have. But do you know the kind of BS that marriage has gone through? And most people cannot stay together through that much BS. See, a lot of people, when they've been together that long, we look at them when they're 78, 80 years old, and we say, oh, they've been together 60 years. And we all go, oh, isn't that nice? That's my relationship goal. That's what I want. But we have no idea what their horror stories are. And most people cannot live through that kind of horror and stay
I see
together.
I see. Oh, okay, I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead, because I have
No,
something to say.
I'm finished. They can't. They just can't do it.
I see you're wired, and I hear this not just in this conversation, but many conversations we have about relationship. I see you're wired, you're hardwired almost, your brain, for negativity in terms of marriage and relationships, and that's just not the way my brain is. I had parents, two parents with a happy marriage. I grew up in a community where most people were happily married, and I don't say that to say there's not struggles, even in my own, and I'm divorced. I'm not saying that there are not struggles in marriages, but um, I'm just gonna say that to me, you manifest what in life. A lot of times, you manifest what you think on. So I'm not gonna say that. So we'll
But one
disagree
thing
with
I'm not is a
that.
negative person. What I am is a realist. I'm not a negative person,
Mm,
not by any stretch. But I just
mm,
see things for what they are,
right,
you
but
know,
from what you've seen in life, because you haven't seen a lot of healthy marriages, is what I get out of that. So
including
tell
mine.
tell me, right? Well, I was gonna say. So I mean, and if I'm wrong, let me put my hands up. If I'm wrong, if I'm misspeaking, you tell me. But if you're honest with yourself and you're honest with our audience, you will admit that you have not seen a lot of healthy marriages. And I think that's a lot of people. And this is a fair thing. I think, Alex, there are a lot of people in our community that have not grown up inside of or seen in their life, in their community, in their church, in their neighborhood, healthy marriages. And I'm just here to say that even though mine didn't work, there are plenty, trust me, trust and believe. Don't believe the hype that there aren't healthy marriages. And I'm not talking about people that are billionaires, millionaires, Beyonce, Jay-Z. I'm talking about just regular everyday people. The man goes to work, he's a garbage man, maybe, let's say. The wife's a nurse, whatever. But they come home, they raise their children successfully. He's not out cheating, making outside babies. She's not out there cheating. It exists.
No, and what I'm saying to you is they do exist. So I
Of
agree with
course,
you.
a
But what
lot of
I'm
them
saying
exist.
is don't
Hmm.
make it seem like that it's been 50, 60 years of walking on a cloud.
I know.
These
Oh no,
people, these
I
people
agree with
manage
you.
to endure. Okay.
Well, they
It's
go
a
through ups
marathon.
and
It's a
it go.
marathon. It's not a sprint.
Okay, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. So if you're single and you're going through life, guess what? You're going to endure either way. So myself, I'd prefer to endure inside of a healthy marriage. Okay. So you're going to endure either way. Life is like that. But we're going to continue on with the notes from the show. Okay, we're not
Okay.
going to get into. We'll save our debate for that topic. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So and then my next question. So Letitia, has she outgrown Glenn?
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. You know, she's out here being a mother, taking care of her business. She's not running around sleeping with everybody. You know, she got her business in order. She has an office. She has an enterprise. She got all these things going on and was taking care of him and the house. I mean, he makes good money, but she was taking care of the house, making sure he was good. She's outgrown him and he's still for the streets. So he has not grown. She has. So I don't even know why she's entertaining trying to get back together with him. His whole thing is he know what he had. He know if she go back on the market, somebody gonna scoop her up real quick, and his ego is gonna be shattered. That's what's wrong with him right now. That's what's bothering him. He want her home. I want you to be home. I need you home. For what? So you can stop coming home at night? So you can keep disappearing again? Why I gotta be home for that? Do that now. Now you free. Go do it.
Right. This is your child. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Martell from Love and Marriage Huntsville. You know, like he wasn't happy like with his wife when he was married, and now he's still not happy. You know, he's never happy. These are these men that sometimes have these narcissistic traits. I want you to read though on the screen. There's a comment for you.
This contestant is saying that she agreed with you. Her normal is being surrounded by healthy long marriages, and that's great. I'm all for it. Yeah, I'm all for it if you can get it.
People can get it. They have to work for it. It's the thing. It's not like you buy it in the store. You work for it, and you pick. And also, it's in picking the person too. So there's a lot to it, but it can happen, and it does happen every day. Ellen V says, "I'm so confused. They kept saying baby. They kept saying baby, baby, baby. It's an 8-year-old.
No, they talk about an outside baby, Ellen.
No. She's saying that the child that he has out of wedlock, not his own child in wedlock. Okay. The child is supposed to be. It's been 8 years now, is what she's saying, and that's exactly right.
Ellen, you know how these mothers are. A man to be 30 years old, that's still my baby. That's mama's
baby. But she's not talking. No, but she's not talking about her baby. She's talking about. They're just calling it a baby. It's a child. It's clearly a child. I mean, the definition of a baby is probably from birth to 12 months. Okay, it's a child. It's a child at this point, but we're not talking about a baby. Okay.
Okay.
Roro says, not remind you of Martell. Yeah, definitely reminds me of Martell. I mean, you got these narcissistic men. I'm sorry. But that's what I see. I saw that. Can I just finish?
Yeah,
this?
Go ahead.
What I saw when I watched the first season, I saw that Glenn was no good then. I mean, you know, we didn't have his evidence necessarily at the beginning, but I could tell by his ways. I could tell by his answers. He's not a person that's going to give you a clear answer. When a man can't give you a straight answer, there's a problem.
And the problem I had with Tisha is she still wants to believe it. She's still trying to hang on to something, to some kind of character trait that he might have somewhere buried deep down inside that's going to make him an honorable human being. And he just don't have it. He just don't have it. The only reason why he's trying so hard and acting right or whatever, or trying to act right, is because she actually left home this time. See, before it was just a threat. Okay?
Right.
But now she actually walked out the door and left. So and now he's like, "Oh, it's real now."
And on a separate note, now this is not to do with necessarily cheating or anything else, but just on a legal perspective. Like, I'm curious to know, when you leave your home, because if I had a nice home and let's say I'm paying for it, even if it's in both our name, and we have a child together, guess what? We got a nice home. I'm not leaving that physical location. You're going to get the hell out. The husband's going to get the hell out. I'm not leaving. I'll have the locks changed and everything else.
I'm not leaving either.
I'm not leaving. No, you're going to leave. Well, I mean, he's going to leave. Either. He's going to leave because I'm not having that. You're not coming in here, and I'm not going to my mama's house. So it's kind of interesting, like you said, that she left and went to her mom's. Some people are talking about that on social media about what that's all about. But like I said, that's outside. But I agree. I don't think that he will change. I think that he's self-centered and immature. I think that's the very basis of his character. And if I were her, I would really give me a good a divorce attorney, and I would be done with him.
It's going to take that situation a long time to resolve itself because he's going to have to go through acceptance, rejection, starting over, healing. He got to go through all these things, and he's not going to let her move on peacefully.
Ask me the part where he's got to go through the 5 stages of grief. Ask me if I care.
Do you care, Aubery?
No.
Okay.
I give less than a rat's behind about what he has to go through because that's all on him. He brought it all on himself.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he's not gonna let her move on peacefully. He gonna try to keep all that pain and hurt and his discontent in her lap. You know, if you hadn't left, we wouldn't be in this situation. If you hadn't moved in with your mother, we wouldn't be. Because that's what narcissists do.
Like Martell. Like read what Ellen V says up here on the screen.
Ellen V says, "I did think of Martell when y'all were talking."
Yeah. I mean, it's what is. You're right. It is exactly what narcissists do, and unfortunately, only because they have a child. Because see, I know how to get rid of a guy, but if you got a child that's underage, that puts it in a whole different category. So she's not going to be able to get rid of him because now she's got a co-parent with this SOB.
And the child becomes a pawn because the man at this point, and listen, I'm a man. I've known a lot of men in my day. Okay, the child becomes a pawn. And the child becomes like a block or a buffer between her personal life as she's trying to move on from you and reality. Because he's going to say all kind of stupid stuff. I don't want another man around my child. Watch who you go out with. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not available to babysit. Why is he with your mother while you out running the street? All this other kind of stuff. He's going to try to make it about the child when it's really about her. That's what people do when they're hurt.
Well, no, it's really about him. It's not about her at all. It's about him.
He'll make it about her. It's really about him,
right?
And his inability to heal and take accountability. But he'll make it about her while using the child as a buffer.
Look, read that one real quick before we get back to
Jeremy.
our notes.
No, Jeremy walks in the door. Jeremy walks in the door on 1,000. You know.
Hey, Jeremy.
Jeremy speaks TV. Martell, but uglier now.
yeah. Cause yeah. You know what? It's funny you read that Martell, but uglier. I read it this way: Martell's but uglier. I hollered.
That would be 2 T's and butt.
I was wondering why Jeremy was misspelling that but but moving on with the notes. Hey there, DeSosa. Good to see you, girl. And
hey,
all you guys. Welcome in. So okay, we're on to the next one from there.
Yes.
Okay, so at Goddess Length, we see Latrice is setting up her shop. She's proud. The thing I love about Latrice is she's really proud of her origins and what she has overcome to be a entrepreneurial success. She calls in her husband Cliff to fix things, and he wants her to move out the neighborhood. So we'll go back to what do you think about Latrice and how she's very proud of her origins from being from humble beginnings, and she's very proud of the fact that she's overcome to become a success. What do you think about that?
Okay, I'm still getting familiar with some of these young ladies. Is Latrice the one married to the older guy?
Yes, Zaddy. I didn't.
Zaddy,
I purposely didn't put Zaddy because, like you, I can't stand that they keep calling that grown man Zaddy. His name is Cliff, and he is her husband. If he was a Zaddy, they wouldn't be married.
Right. Well, I think she should be proud of the things that she's accomplishing. I'm trying to refamiliarize myself with this particular scene that you're talking about. So you may want to start this.
Okay. So there, she's in her shop. So we see her driving her nice, expensive car. She pulls up in front of her shop that says Goddess Length, and she goes in, and a guy that works there, I'm not sure what his exact title is, but one of the guys that works there,
Oh, the real skinny guy. Yeah.
the real
Okay, I
skinny
remember
guy,
now.
right? He's telling her that they're out of certain wigs and they need to reorder, and that's when she kind of like starts. I think you see a confessional of her talking about, she's really proud of coming from humble beginnings, and that she a lot of things that she's overcome to become a success, and that she wants to stay in the neighborhood so that she can continue to give young girls and young women a goal to shoot for, because we know oftentimes people achieve success, they move to the suburbs, they got to be way out where it's so expensive and it takes you 3 bus rides to get there. She wants to stay in the neighborhood is what she's saying, and I appreciate it. I totally respect and appreciate that she's this type of woman that she's proud of where she came from. And she
And I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
go ahead. No, I was finished.
Would I be reaching if I was to say that although this is a great accomplishment, and it is, that because due to her marriage to Cliff, he's a pretty well-off guy, okay? Due to her marriage to Cliff, she has been afforded the time, and the resources to do this thing. Because they have a huge age difference. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's like something like 19, 20 years.
19, 20 years. Okay. So
Right.
he's established a lot in his life. He's done a lot. He's a very successful man. So although what she's doing is a great thing, she was afforded those opportunities by being his spouse and having the time and the resources to do this. So I think it's a wonderful thing, but I think behind the scenes, I would like to see Cliff get a little bit more credit for that. Don't get quiet on me.
So, moving forward, I saw nothing last season, nor have I seen anything this season. He certainly is. Now, I'm going to say this from what I've seen and what I know, what I'm aware of. Her husband Cliff is very supportive of her. He's a supportive husband in that way, so he's a good husband. But this young lady started Goddess Length with $300. Cliff, as the company grew, so she started with $300 and she was selling out of the trunk of her car. So literally, when I talk about entrepreneur, this girl started from the bottom and moved on, worked her way up to the top. Nobody gave her anything. When she asked Cliff after her company was growing, she needed investors. Cliff did not invest in her company. So I'm not sure where you get this account that it's like almost like he did everything and she just put her face on it.
I didn't say that.
I know. Hold on. Okay, I didn't interrupt you. I didn't say you said that, but from listening to you, what you did say, I'm not sure where you get that idea from. But like I said, from me having watched the first season and this season, Cliff is a supportive spouse. He has his thing and she has her thing. So I'm not buying into that. Like he needs all these pats on the back. No, sir.
No, I'm not saying he need pat on the back. What I'm saying is, and she may have started for $300. I'm not sure if that's true or not. A couple of people in the chat, they going side eye with that one. Okay, so I'm not sure if she had $300, $200, $500. It don't matter. What I'm saying is, I'm not knocking her hustle. I'm not knocking her grind. What I'm saying is that when you have somebody that's very successful that you're married to, very accomplished, okay, a lot of times it gives you the resources and the time that you need to do this. Could you imagine if you're a single mother with 2 or 3 children and you busting your behind on a regular job, but you're also an entrepreneur in your spirit, and you're trying to build a business while working a regular job, taking care of 3 kids, paying all the bills, doing this, doing that, and trying to have money for your business? Now that's a grind. Okay, I got nothing but respect for that. That's a serious grind. But when you have somebody who's already established and you have that kind of a cushion, okay, to say, okay, I'm good. My house is good. I got a good car. My house is good. I'm good. So I can focus all my energy and time on this thing without having a burden mentally of wondering where my roof going to be, what kind of car I'm going to drive, if we're going to eat tonight or not. It takes a lot of burden off it and makes your creative energies that much stronger. That's all I'm saying. Anybody in the chat? Let's go.
All right. So anyway,
we're gonna agree to disagree.
She calls her husband Cliff in to fix the sink, and like a good husband, like a good supportive husband, he does come and he quickly fixes it. And we're gonna talk about how he wants her to move out of the neighborhood. What are your thoughts about that?
I don't agree with that. I think we need to be saving our neighborhoods. I think the first thing we want to do when we become successful is desert our neighborhoods, desert our children, desert our communities, and we should be trying to rebuild. Now, in saying that, Cliff's concern is probably like you think about. Excuse me, think about the great rapper Nipsey Hussle, who was unalived by somebody who was in his camp. Okay, guys like Nipsey and other people have tried to stay and rebuild their communities, and it cost them their life. Okay, so he's very concerned with her safety in that regard. So I respect him for being concerned with her safety. But
Yeah,
I also
that's what I was gonna.
but I also respect her for wanting to change her community, for having that desire in her heart. But it does become a safety issue when you got a lot of jealous, Negroes around, that want to do you harm.
Yeah, and even sometimes it can be you can just be caught up in something going on that block or that neighborhood if it's kind of a neighborhood where it's high crime. And I hate to say that because crime happens in almost all different neighborhoods across our country in the United States, but it could be in a high crime neighborhood. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what the hours of the store are. Is the store open late? Like I know here where I live at, a lot of the hair supply stores are open till 8, 9 o'clock. Now, right now in the summer, that's not a big deal. But as we move into fall and winter, we know that 5 o'clock, 5:30, it's dark, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And a lot of crime goes up. Criminals are looking. They're opportunists. They're looking for an easy way to harm somebody. So if it's dark and they can hide under the cover of darkness, they may attack her, they may attack or break in the store, anything. So yeah, I do understand her husband on the one hand. Like I see both sides of it. So I do understand her husband wanting his wife, his love to be safe, but I also understand her side of it and wanting to raise up the community and take the community along with her for a ride as she raises in the ranks and this company increases to grow, and also maybe even offering employment to some of the people in the community where she is.
Because the freaks come out at night, like you said, under the guise of night, most crimes are committed.
What was that? Say that one more time. Who comes out at night?
The freaks come out at night.
Oh Lord, not the freaks.
Yeah,
I see my Afro Mama in the audience too in the chat. Hey there. Oh,
my
wait
other
a minute.
woman.
Oh, right. And wait a minute. Oh no, this is your main woman right here. You got to put mine. Mine gonna have to be a side piece now.
No,
look who's in this. Look who's in the chat.
That's my Aunt Roz.
You didn't have to tell nobody was your aunt. That's our secret. That could have been our secret, right, Auntie Roz?
She doesn't. He doesn't want her to have he wants her to have a child as well. Yeah, talking about Cliff.
Right. He definitely wants her to have a child. And what? Speaking of that, let's talk about that for a second before we move on. What do you think that is? Do you think that this guy has been married before? It's her first marriage, but he's been married before, and he has 5 adult children. What do you think the reasoning is that he would want to start all over? What do you think that is?
A reason to keep her locked down. It's as simple as that. A reason to say, I have something with her. This is our accomplishment. This is my trophy, whatever the case is. Because if the marriage ended today, excuse me, and she walked, there would be no reason to see him ever again in life. But a child connects that, and when it comes time for her he want her to slow down, stay home, be a nurturer, because women have that naturally. They naturally want to nurture their children and care for their children and do this kind of thing. So probably on the sneak tip, he's trying to get her to slow down by having a child, and she ain't going for the okie doke.
Right. Well, you said it. I don't even have to. Some things we do agree on, and that's definitely one of them, because I definitely get the feeling that Cliff wants Latrice to slow down. He wants her to, like a lot of men, they get babyfied. They want you to be there, rubbing them down, flipping them over, and turning them over.
Oh no!
All this kind of stuff, rather than see you be successful. That's why I say I'm not giving him any credit, except for the fact that for the most part that I've seen thus far, Cliff seems to be supportive of her business. But I'm side-eyeing him. I'm side-eyeing him at this point because no, sir. You do not
Yeah.
get to run this girl's business into the ground because you want her to have a baby. No, sir.
Mm-hmm.
No, sir. So moving
Right.
on. We move forward, and Latrice and oh, okay. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Well, we didn't finish with them. Latrice and Cliff are begin to discuss the upcoming brunch, the empowerment brunch for ladies, and if Latrice should attend. And she says about Marie, she says, I don't know if I should attend because he says, well, she's gonna be a lady. She's gonna be around her friends. This is Cliff. Marie says she's not ladylike. She's manly like though. so so and then will Latrice need bail money or not? Next scene, Marie chats about her grandson's mom to Letitia,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And we see them there. They're now we're moving on to Marie and Letitia, and of course, guys, those of you who've been watching the show, you know that Marie's grandson mother was in the car back last season and at the end of last season, and I don't know what happened or why, but this woman was unalived with the baby in the car, and thank God that there was a covering over the baby, so the baby was not harmed at all. No bullets hit the baby, even though there were several, that entered the car. And
A spiritual covering
a
over that
covering, yes,
baby.
a spiritual covering, yes. And so they're talking, and it's just that Marie also has a lot. So she's dealing with that. She's dealing with this son that continues to not know what condoms are for. I guess he uses them for water balloons. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Continues to make babies. Is in college. I don't know if he's making any progress or he's just a perpetual student. And then she's got her mother. Her mother who is a recovering drug addict, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's got a lot on her plate. So we move forward, and then Akeisha and Tambra meet up with the two other ladies, Marie and Lakeisha, for lunch, and they're talking about Akeisha. Tambra tells us that Akeisha was part of the Pretty Girl gang, and I'm like, what? Like, really? We talking about this in our 40s? Y'all still talking about the Pretty Girl gang?
Ooh, that child snooty. Ooh, she's snooty.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
my goodness.
snooty. Yeah,
Oh, my goodness.
exactly. Now talk about that. Go ahead, talk about that. And I'm gonna get back over into the comments.
Yeah, she's pretty. She got the pretty eyes and all this kind of stuff, but she's very, she's braggadocious. She's very snooty and uppity. My family did this. My grandfather did that. My uncles did this. Blah 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 blah. Okay. We know. Okay, if anybody could bring back Ferris Street, it'll be me or nobody. This kind of stuff. So,
right.
In one way, she's setting herself up to kind of put her foot in her mouth later, because if she don't bring Ferris Street back, then there's a lot of ammo for everybody else to get on her about. Okay. Okay. So she better accomplish what she say, or she better shut up. Okay. She's married to Willie Colon, who's a former NFLer. I do remember him. I remember when he played.
Yeah.
So big guy. Okay. So I guess they have a solid marriage. They've been married a long time. He's been retired. No, he played 10 years. Not sure how long he's been retired. But she's committed to saying she wants to bring the community back. Now, I can applaud her for that, because we need to do more of that, as we just discussed with the other young lady, because we need more of that. Okay, don't just get well off and leave your community stuck where you came from. Go back and try to uplift the community. It's very important for us to do that. So I applaud her for that. But the braggadocious nature that she has, constantly talking about herself and her family and so forth, it just it gets kind of annoying.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I want you to go through your aunt has some very good points. I want you to read these.
The baby mother was very young. Yes, she was 18 years old.
All right, now read this one.
Too young for Marie's son. How old is Marie's son?
He's in his early 20s, like 23, I believe, 22, 23. So let's go back a couple of years. So he would have been about 21 or 20. That girl was 18. So 2 years ago, she would have been 16.
16, right.
So what are your thoughts on that watch your language, because, YouTube language. Well, what are your thoughts on that? A 16-year-old, and let's say maybe about 2021.
I mean, 2021, you definitely riding that line. If he was 19, then okay. That's very close in age, close proximity. there's no, legal boundary there. In my opinion, there wouldn't be. Probably legally, yes, but to me
I
as a
think
human being,
legally there would
no.
be.
Yeah, legally there would be a boundary. Definitely at 21, there's a boundary. That and that would be the case
And the
there.
and the problem with it is though, so 20 or 21, the problem that I have with it, besides it being in a lot of states illegal, and each state has, and so I don't know for Mississippi, which is southern. So I'm going to guess that they probably have a lower tolerance. They probably have a higher tolerance. So their legal age for consent might be 14 or 15. So, so
Right.
legally, technically, he might have been safe. But my problem with it as a mother is that if my daughter was 16 and she was dating a 20-year-old and I knew it, it would end. It would have been
Mm.
over with because he's in college and he has access to all those beautiful, well educated college women. Why not talk to them? Don't come back here and pick with my 16-year-old because mentally, as you like to say, her brain is not fully cooked and she is in
Neither
high.
is his.
That's okay. That's okay. But his mother needs to be teaching him, first of all, to wear a condom, and second of all, to date women that's in his category. If
His
you're in
mother's a
college,
coddler. His
if
mother's a
if you
coddler.
right, but if I can say, if you're in college, date college women. She's in high school. If she's even able to date at 15, 16, because again, as a mother, I'm strict on that. So I don't know where she was in that 16, or she was right at 15, because she had the baby at 16, so she would have been 15. She would not have been dating in my home. You don't
Right.
date at 15. You need to be focused on your education. And this is the problem with this boy, with Marie's son. Why isn't he more focused on his education? That's why he can't get out of college,
And making
because
multiple
not
children.
he's not focused. He's
Mm.
focused on on his penis. He's
That's
focused
it.
on his peen and maybe some eggs, but he's not focused on his education. He's not focused on his social development. Otherwise, he wouldn't be stunting his growth by dating women that are under him in high school.
You know what? It's interesting. Being in his mother's house, okay, she's caring for him and his children. So because that's his mother, would that still fall under the category of a homosexual?
That's a good question. Oh my God. I think so. I think so. As an adult male, I mean, I don't know. That's kind of borderline because, again, I do say that this. So here's the thing. So if you've got kids in college, you know exactly how expensive. When my son was at Syracuse, and this is a while ago because he's a full grown man now, fully functioning, full job, everything. But when he was at Syracuse in New York, that college back then was like $55,000 a year.
Mm.
So I don't have a problem with a young man, young woman staying at home with their parents. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that.
Being productive, though. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Not bringing children home. You know what I mean? If you're trying to
Yes.
study to be a doctor or a chemist or
I don't
a
care what you're
lawyer,
studying to
or,
be. If you're
yeah,
studying to have a better future, period. If you're studying to be a school teacher, if you're studying to be an electrician, an engineer, if you're studying to be a social worker, I don't care what it is you're studying. Make progress at it and don't be bringing babies home.
mhm.
Because if you
and
want to have a sexual intercourse and not be married, wear a condom.
and he
Bring your condoms
knows
to these parties.
and he knows his mother is his safety net. That's where he can always fall. And so she's a coddler. And until that changes, and I don't think it's going to change because he's going to use those grandbabies to soften her heart over and over and over again. And she's going to fall for it. So, yeah.
Okay, Mocha Mima has a comment. I'm going to read that. As the mother of three daughters, one of which was a teen mom, children do what they do. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I know that
Yeah.
I excuse me. I know
Mm-hmm.
that children. I know that people, including children, they do, like you said, what they want to do. But my point was simply that as a mother of a teenage child, I'm not giving permission for my daughter, and I'm going to keep close eye on her, right? She's not going out with any and everybody. She's not going out with a grown man that's 20, 21 years old. I'm sorry. So now you say children do what they do, but oftentimes, not saying you, Mocha, but sometimes, to be fair and be honest, some of us as parents really aren't paying attention. We're busy doing everything else, and we think that just because our children are autonomous in terms of using the bathroom and brushing their teeth, we think that now the job is done. It's not done. I stayed very active in my children's life all the way through college, both children, male and female. So
And
that's just
look,
my feeling about it.
and look, Mocha, and we're not saying this you either. I want to, echo what Aubrey said. We're not saying this is you, but yes, they do what they do. They make their own mistakes.
Yeah.
Don't make me pay for your mistakes. We're not doing this. We're not going to keep doing this through one child, two child, three children. We're not doing this. Okay, it's going to come a point. Get your own place. Go out there and support yourself. Stop using me as a safety net. We're not doing that because I made enough of my own mistakes to clean up. I'm not going to clean up yours. We're not doing that with adults.
This is an interesting. Oh, our comments are so good. Hey there, your boy Smooth. How you doing? Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Welcome. High vibe though. High vibe. How you doing? But this right here. Read this.
Yeah, Marie should make her son get a vasectomy. Yeah. Good
Wait
luck
a
with that
minute.
one.
Wait a minute. High vibe. I am so with you. I am so tired of
Good
these
luck with
men
that one.
who have children and cannot afford them, do not take care of them. He's already got 3. He's good. He's good. So when he
Mhm.
meets his wife to be, if he's not married to one of these women that have children, a child for him already, he should be saying, you know what, I had a vasectomy because I got
He
3 kids that I
he,
got to support.
he
Because
ain't
wait a
got
minute.
three. His mama got three.
Well, wait a minute. He created 3. She didn't
Mm.
create them because she has no sperm. So here's the thing. Even though she is pretty manly, though she doesn't have any sperm. Um, he should have a vasectomy. You're right, and because you know what, and he should go back and look at which one of these girls, young ladies, as he gets settled into his career once he graduates college or finds a trade and is able to support himself and a family. He should look at marrying one of these young women because I don't see it. You know, these men. We allow men to get away with a lot in our society now. Someone was saying, I don't know who I was talking to earlier
The
today.
bar is low.
Who was I talking to? Someone I was talking to earlier today was saying about how, oh, I know, a good girlfriend of mine, I won't call her name out, but a good girlfriend of mine here, we were talking about how years ago when a man impregnated a girl, he had to marry her. He had to marry her. And now we don't do that. And now it's like society has to raise these children because now Marie has the wherewithal to take care of these extra babies. But a lot of times these kids end up on welfare. Their mothers end up on welfare. And society now has to help raise these children. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with needing help. But at what point do we as a society return to men having to be responsible for the children that they have? That's crazy.
Well, I can't relate to the irresponsibility of a man taking care of children, speaking as a man who took care of all of his, including the stepchild. So I can't relate to that. But one thing the great comedian Dave Chappelle said on one of his stand-ups, he said that chivalry is dead and women killed it. And I think and the audience erupted in laughter. And I think because what he meant by that was with the independence movement, the sexual revolutions, the this and that, all you see on social media now is women showing body parts, they twerking, they flashing money, they boss chicks, they this, they that. And the bar now has been so lowered. Okay. It's just so low now of what people will accept. And it's both men and women that no one can stay together for any extended period of time. They're just making babies, knowing that
Again, now you say you're not negative, but when you say no one can stay together, it's plenty of people still together.
Okay. Well, a lot of
See,
people.
you don't hear yourself when you're speaking sometimes. You say these things and you make these broad statements. No one can stay together. I know plenty of successful couples. I know plenty of couples still together, and they ain't going nowhere until one of them dies. Okay, so think about what you're saying as you're saying it.
Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, okay, the bar has been so lowered that people are accepting anything today. You know, you look on social media and what's going on and all these different things, and you know, it just is crazy. So no one has to be a gentleman today. You don't have to be a gentleman today. You don't even have to be a lady today. You know, just hang out, party, whatever happens, happens. If a child comes out of it, we'll figure it out later. That's almost like the attitude.
Well, yeah, and that's some people's attitude. But again, broad sweeping statements. I'm going to go to Roz's comment. Roz says, okay, and I think this is a good point. Roz says, I think that she means that they can sneak around with their older boyfriends or girlfriends. Yeah, you're right. Okay, that's what she's saying. I get that. I get that.
It's always going on. It's always happened.
And then you want to go ahead and read what Mocha
Yeah.
Mima says back too.
Mocha meme, this hits close to home for her. So she says, child, I was sneaky. When I was 14, I was messing around with a 21-year-old. I was grown. This is not new.
Or at least you thought you were. Yeah,
Thought
you're
you
right.
were.
You're right. You're right. I see your point. I stand corrected. And like I said, I wasn't saying you. I get that children are going to do, because trust me, baby, believe I've got two of my own, a son and a daughter, and they've done things that I've not been proud of, and that they probably in hindsight were not so proud of either. So yeah, I understand that children are going to be children, but I do think that sometimes some parents, not saying you, some parents are not as involved. When children get to high school, a lot of parents think they can let their hands off the brakes. No, that's the time when you really need to be paying attention, because now they're going to be exposed to drugs, sex, and a lot of other things that are very dangerous that could take them out of here. Could take them literally out of here.
And I still stand by my previous statement. I'm not going to pay for your mistakes. Understand there are repercussions for all your actions. Okay, there's cause and effect. You're not going to keep me down with it. I made enough mistakes of my own that I'm trying to clean up and taking care of. I'm not going to clean up yours too.
All right, sir. All right. You okay now? You okay over there?
Let me breathe.
Why don't you sip your water and take a breath? Okay.
Let me breathe.
Yeah. No, not in the mic. Go mute your mic and let me read this. Okay, we don't need that. DeSosa says, I agree with Mima. My friends didn't care about the rules at home. They still lived their life outside. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sneaking out windows and all this kind of stuff.
Look, don't talk about windows. You're giving me flashbacks. Do not talk about windows. And I was a good church girl. At least so people thought.
Somebody snuck out a window. I wonder who it was.
Ross. Well, I didn't say I snuck out. I just said the window part.
I said somebody.
Oh, you were sneaking out the window? Is that what you're saying?
I plead the fifth commandment.
Anyway, Mocha says, Ross, correct. She was sneaking around, got pregnant at 15. You're right. And that's the whole thing. But I'm going to get back to that whole thing of, so that young lady was only 15, because 9 months, 9 out of 10, you're going to be the lesser age. And then a year later, it's almost like it's 9 months is almost a year, right? So I just have a problem with the 20-year-old dating a 15-year-old. So maybe I'm odd like that. I don't know, guys. But there's a possibility that in some states, there could be an incarceration that goes along with that. Yes, LNV, remind them. Let us get back on track. High Vibe says, exactly, Aubery. Girls would give babies up for adoption if they weren't married. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know if you're old enough or you just, I don't know what your age is, High Vibe, but yes, there was a time, right, that even if you didn't get married, if the guy wouldn't marry you, you would go away somewhere and you would have that baby, and the baby would be put up for adoption. And even if at a time where sometimes it was adopted in your family, and we literally know of, some of us know of people that were so-called siblings, but they were actually mother and child, right? Because no, you just didn't do that. It was considered a very bad look on your family. It was considered a very bad look on you. And for the guy and the girl, we held both people responsible, the male and the female. And you just didn't run around doing that. You just did not do it. And you certainly, if you did it once, if it happened once, you made darn sure it didn't happen twice until you got married.
But you know what? This may be a little controversial, but man's laws, says that you have to be 18 or 21, or this is illegal at 15 or 13, or whatever the case may be. But nature says that once a woman starts having her menstrual cycles, she's ready to start producing children. And there was a time in this society on this planet with 30-year-old men, it was legal to marry 12, 13-year-old girls. Not saying it's right.
The opinions of the co-hosts are not the opinions of actually Aubery.
Not an opinion.
We will put that disclaimer up, and these facts and these things that he calls himself dropping, they are not the opinion of actually Aubery. All right. What percentage, High Vibe wants you to answer the question, what percentage of women are running around right now half naked and twerking since you gave it to all the people?
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
I don't know a percentage, but I mean, all you guys know what I'm talking about. You just go up and down social media, you'll see it. I mean, come on now. We're not crazy here. If you
Well,
want me to be the bad guy, I'll be the bad guy. But just go to your
well,
social
well.
medias and scroll up and down, and you see a bunch of twerking and half naked people running
See,
around.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. When I'm gonna tell you something where I got to correct you on that. Yeah,
Mhm.
there are, and there may be all of that on your social media, but just remember, your social media is your social media. So some of
Okay.
us are into crocheting
All right.
and
Okay.
traveling,
Oh, jeez.
DIY projects. So our social media may not look like your social media, sir.
Doesn't mean it's not going on. That's what I'm saying. You can turn a blind eye to it, but we're talking about the issues that are plaguing us, and this is part of it. So you can turn a blind eye to it and do your crocheting and your knitting and your sculpting, but this was going on behind the scenes, which causes us to have these kind of discussions.
I see, sir. I see. I see. So we're gonna move back over into these note cards because you gonna find something. I'm so glad he started his own channel, guys, because I'm gonna go over there and harass him on his channel, okay?
I'm on
Because
1,000 today.
yeah, he had an extra cup of coffee before he came in on this one, because yeah. So anywho, the ladies we're talking about Keisha. I don't know how we got so far away. We're talking about Keisha and how Akeisha was just really all into herself, but we digress.
Yeah.
Marie has several streams of income. This is something that Akeisha is saying. She's in there. I didn't realize this. I knew Maria had the home health care. I realized that she had two or three different businesses. I didn't know she had a hair care business or some sort, and that she also is an accountant. Did you guys know that? I didn't know that. She named about 5 or 6, 7 things. And so Akeisha, while they're talking about all these things that Maria's doing, Akeisha, is it me, or was Akeisha really trying to outdo all the ladies at the table? They brought up lupus. She says her and her husband had a lupus fundraiser and they raised over $1 million. Um, what's that about, Alex? What is Akeisha trying to do? Is she trying to take over the show? What's going on?
I think she's trying to say I'm Mississippi and I'm coming back home. This is this
Oh,
is this is my town.
I'm
I'm
Black
coming back
Mississippi.
home. My
Hmm.
family's all over this place, and I'm coming to rebuild Ferris Street and some other things. So I'm the one to keep an eye on. That's what she's saying.
Mm. I'm thinking she's shooting for, maybe she wants to be the queen of this show too. I thought about that. It came to me later on as I was watching, like maybe she thinks she wants to be the queen, because all these women. Now, one thing I'll say about Bell Collective that's interesting, it seems to be that all the women are on equal footing, or at least they were the first season, right? We
Mm,
see all of them equally. We see a snippet into each one of their lives. So nobody right now is like a standout like Nene was in Real Housewives of Atlanta. Tell me if
mm.
I'm wrong, guys, in the chat. I mean, do you see someone who's a standout? I mean, I know I have my favorites. I have this up on my community post. If you guys want to go over there and answer the question, who do you most wanted to see when they came back for a second season? Was it Marie? Was it Letitia? Is it Latrice? Or we know that Antoinette didn't come back, the dentist. And who was the fourth person?
Mm.
I'm
Uh,
missing someone.
don't get me the line because I'm still getting familiar with these characters.
And their names, yeah, that's often the
Yeah,
hardest part of it, is their name. So, but
yeah.
guys, who do you think? Just put it down in the chat. Drop down in the chat and tell me, who did you see as being like the person that from last season? Those of you that watched the first season, okay, or you caught up on the first season, or watched any portion of it. Who was your favorite? Because personally, for me, I felt like it was Latrice. Latrice with the Goddess Length hair care business. I love her hustle, her drive. I like the fact that she's with a much older man, because when I was her age, I loved a much older man, and I like their relationship. But sometimes, the only thing about it, sometimes I feel like he's being a little bit jealous. And I'm gonna
Mm.
go back over here to the comments, and we're gonna catch up with some of these comments over here. Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah,
I agree
yeah.
with. Hold on. Let's see. I gotta scroll back up here.
Pull them up. Pull them up. Get to the right setting. Cause
Right.
the chat was lit while you were talking.
Right. As I want to go catch up with what they're saying. Um, oh, okay, I did that one. Okay. Yes. Please, guys, like the video. Like the video. It's free 99 today. We're gonna get these likes up, okay? We are going to grow. And oh, by the way, right now we're on the road to 2,000. So if you haven't subscribed and you're watching this video on the replay, go ahead and subscribe. You've been here 2, 3 times. You know what it is. You know what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's see.
Absolutely.
I think okay, here we go. Okay. Go ahead and read that one.
Mocha Mima, there are many weddings every weekend, and I see couples celebrating anniversaries all the time.
Right. I think she was responding to earlier. That was a little bit earlier. She was
Yeah.
saying, 'cause you're saying about all these couples. Like I said, you don't think you're negative, but I think if you go back and listen to this podcast, you'll see what I'm talking about. And
I'm a little jaded when it comes to marriage sometimes. I'll admit that.
yeah, and relationships.
Yeah.
Roro for real says my 3 grandsons, ages 6, 9, and 13, know to be gentlemen. Exactly. Everybody. I mean, because you see society. I disagree with the whole notion that because society may be going to hell in a handbasket, it appears that doesn't change who I am. So no storm comes that changes who I am. And as long as you stay steadfast in your beliefs and your character, I mean, it is what it is. So just like he's saying, there's so much negative out there, but that's not changing who I am. I'm going to be a lady. I was raised a lady, and I've always been a lady.
Mocha Mima, Roro, I teach my 2 grandsons to hold doors and stand up when women enter the room, hold chairs, etc.
All right. Hey, wait a minute. I got something for you, Mocha Mima.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, not just you, but Roro and all the grandparents and the parents. And that's another thing. So you showing us what that African proverb really means, that it takes a village to do what? To raise a child. And that is so true. We need all, even parents, we need everyone's help. And hey, what's DeSosa? DeSosa says a friend of mine, a friend of mine's event had an A word,
Yeah.
and the bill was sent to my mom. Okay, all
What
right.
in the world? Ooh, what is that?
I get it. I get it. We're gonna move forward. But a lot of things, right? It was a lot of things that, yeah, yeah. Here in Connecticut, lots of girls went down south. Right, that you remember.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of girls went down south for a year and came back. You know what that was? Okay,
Right.
exactly. Exactly.
we
I'm
go.
saying we weren't bringing these children out of wedlock into our family. We were going to make sure that they had a 2-parent home, because we know that 2-parent homes are important and they do matter, regardless of what this guy over here says.
Yeah.
You got this one's got your name on it, so you can go ahead and read that one.
Yeah, Alex, they're trying to bring that back in some red states. The comment I made earlier about nature having these women produce early.
Yeah, that's sickening.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
sickening.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I'm just saying that's a real thing, Aubery. You can turn around and don't see it, but it's a real thing.
Just because I don't agree with it doesn't mean I don't see it. I see it and I disagree with it.
Okay. Just making sure you know it's a real thing. And
I've lived this life longer than you have, so I know what's real and what's not.
Don't put that back. Don't go by that too fast. See what you do? When somebody said Alex is right, you go look at that. See? That's my woman. My woman.
DeSosa.
Yeah.
DeSosa. Can we talk? Come over here. Come over here in the girls' corner. Come on, let's talk.
Let that sit on the screen for about a half hour.
No, let's see what your aunt, who knows you better than all the people here. What did she say? What did she say?
Just turn on the TV. Just turn on your TV.
Turn on your TV.
Turn on your TV.
I know what exists, but like I said, it doesn't mean I have to agree with it. Slavery existed, doesn't mean I agree with it. While you're saying what exists, I don't agree with things, and just because they exist, sir, doesn't mean I'm not blind to any of these things. I'm very alert. I'm very aware. High vibe. My point is that most of that is young people. I don't see people over 40 doing that. Doing what, dear?
Twerking and doing half dressed things on the internet.
Yeah, so now you know what? That's interesting. I wonder if Alex is looking at all the young girls twerking. He's not busy over on the women's page that are 50 and above, like in his age bracket.
But you know what?
He's over there looking at the 30-somethings, right? So yeah, that would, like I said, that's a thing. Like his social media is his social media. Those of us that have other aspirations, our social media gets filled with, once you pick out the commonalities and the things that you like, then that's what they fill your social media with. And if you're looking at like financing, entrepreneurial things, that's what they'll fill your social media with, right?
I kind of
Mm.
run a gamut with my information. So,
Uh-huh.
but you know, Janet,
You running some kind of gamut.
the to High Vibes comment about people over 40, whatever. Janet Jackson, who's a very influential woman, as we all know, she
Yes.
posed for Playboy in her 40s. You know, so and we know she influences a lot of young women. So if they figure if
Hmm.
she could do it, I can do it, or women her age can do it. So
Alex, sometimes he has an excuse and a reason for everything
there are
under the
always
sun.
reasons, whether you agree or not.
He has an excuse or a reason for everything under the sun.
Was Janet Jackson naked on Playboy? Yes or no?
He's starting to remind me a little bit of Glenn.
was, Janet, was Janet Jackson on Playboy in her
If
40s?
you
Yes or
if
no?
you if you say so, I mean, I
Okay.
wasn't buying it to see her. So like,
Okay.
I think I heard something about that, but I
Look
wasn't
at
buying it.
Roro. I thought Roro was my friend. See, Roro was supposed to be my friend. She said, re-
Oh yeah, by the way, yes, please. Thank you for that. Ellen, if it's at all possible, could you get that link to have that queued up and you could drop that in the chat at your convenience,
oh,
okay?
Roro's is a mess. I tell you.
So we gonna go back over it. So we're gonna get through this. It's been an hour now. We're gonna get through this.
Okay.
We're talking about the empowerment brunch, so let's go back over to
I'm having
that.
fun.
And you're having a good time, yes,
Yeah.
while you're giving me a headache at the same time. Okay, so moving on to the next scene, Marie and her mom go out to eat and discuss why her mom has disappeared for an entire week. It's really sad. Her
Yeah.
mother admits that she's an addict who cannot stay sober, and Marie tells her mother about the impact that this has had on her since she was a child. This scene right here was so heart wrenching.
Mm.
I don't even know where to start.
You know, Aubery, and to our viewing audience, there comes a point where you have to wash your hands of a situation, regardless if it's a loved one, a child, a spouse, whoever. You know, a person has to get sick and tired of being sick and tired, hit rock bottom, which her mother has been rock bottom so many times, and this chemical, this substance continues to pull on her. You have to let her go, even if that means her ultimate demise to another world. You got to leave it alone. You know, I used to, because there's nothing she's going to be able to do. The drug is her God. There's nothing Marie can do. She's going to have to come to grips with that and leave her mother alone to her own devices. You know, I'm going to tell a real quick story. Years ago, I dated a young lady, beautiful young lady. This was years ago. Looked like a movie star. I took her to a movie set one day. All the guys trying to cut my throat to get to this woman, you know, but she
Mhm.
had a drug issue. She had a drug problem. So I called her mother one day. I said, "Excuse me, miss, you don't know me, but I've been dating your daughter. She has this issue, and I want to know what can we do to help her because she needs help." And all her mother kept saying was, the whole time I'm talking. I said, and so then her mother said, "Are you finished?" I said, "Yeah, I'm finished." She said, "Do you love my daughter?" I said, I don't love her, but I care deeply for her. I want to get her some help." Her mother said to me, "I've been up all night, night after night, calling people, walking up and down the street, looking for my daughter." She said, "I'm tired now." She said, "All I'm waiting for now is someone to call me to tell me to come bury my child, to put her out of her misery so I can go on with my life." Now, this is a mother and her daughter. So, what had her daughter put her through behind this chemical substance to make a mother get that tired? It just got to get to that at some point because you keep bringing them around. They keep hurting you. They're stealing stuff. They're taking meat out your freezer to go in the street and sell it. They're doing this stuff. The chemical is their God. There's nothing you can do about it. Let her go. That's your mother. I understand all that. Everybody gonna have heartstrings. Oh, that's her mother. Oh, let her stay to the street. Let God take care of her. Because Marie got too much going on to be trying to take care of a mother who don't want help. Period.
It's easier for somebody to say that and then to actually live that, because at the end of the day, something happens to her mother.
She
She's
can't
got to
blame
live.
herself.
She's got, yeah. if you can let me speak sometimes too, she's got to live with that. So, regardless of what your friend's mother told you, that's an individual choice. Once again, that's an individual choice. So, yeah, that's an individual choice
That's
because
heavy. It's heavy. It's heavy, Aubrey.
yeah, it is. It really is. Like I said, I was sad. I mean, it really brought tears to my eyes because I never had to deal with that. I'm very fortunate. But I know we all have different crosses to bear. But
Yeah, and
um,
you said you haven't
I
dealt
didn't
with it, and I
I didn't
respect it.
I didn't see that in my family.
Yeah, I've seen it too many times. That I guess that's my problem.
I didn't
You
see
know.
that in my family, and nor do I know of anybody close to me because when I see, even in a dating situation, when I see a man that drinks too much, and so this is not without even going into any illegal substances or any harsher substances, and we know that people can be addicted to alcohol just as much as they can be to any kind of illegal substance. I don't deal with it. I don't like addiction of any sort. So if somebody has an addiction to alcohol, if I see it and I can see the signs because I've studied up on that, I'm not dealing with it. I'm out. So I don't want to have to live with you and deal with you for a lifetime because I'm not going to even deal with you for a short time in that situation. But to say that about your mother or your child, I can't say that. I think that that's got to be an individual fight that you're gonna live with it and you're going to do what you can. And it doesn't matter because I have seen and I do know of people that were formerly addicted that did turn around, and it's just not a one time thing where they go and they get help. They may have to go 3 times, they may have to go 10 times. I don't know. But when you love someone, you never give up on them. That's my
Yeah, this
that's my
yeah, and this scene, Aubrey, as you can probably tell, it really struck a chord with me. Out of this whole episode, that
hmm
one hit me the hardest because I've seen it so many times in my life, personally, directly or indirectly, you know, and it just the environment. You know, you grew up in the environment, so you see a lot of this kind of craziness. So
hmm Oh, okay. They're talking about. Let me go back. I'm just covering some comments from before when we were talking about Akeisha. So they're saying, some people are saying, Roz is saying, yeah, that she believes Akeisha definitely wants to be queen. Uh,
yeah,
Angela Johnson. Hey there, Angela. Welcome in. Phaedra is the queen of our RHOA.
yeah,
Okay, you say so, but I think a lot of people would disagree and say that it's Nene. But you know, whoever the queen is, I see that Akeisha appears to be trying to be the queen with not a whole lot of charisma. So I think that's going to be very difficult for her because she don't have that charisma, and that's not something that you can learn or grow. You either have it or you don't. Um, Auntie Rod says Tambra. Tambra's the queen. That's her
And-
favorite.
no, I think that was the fourth name you was trying to think of earlier.
Oh, yes. Okay, Tambra. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Tambra's the other person. Right. Okay. High Vibe says Latrice, I want her to see her worth and leave Zaddy. Yeah, like I said, I'm wondering because this one over here talking about all what Zaddy, or I mean, I'm sorry, Cliff, because I said I'm going to call him Cliff. What all Cliff has done, I see him as attractive. Probably because I'm an older woman, so he fit into my age bracket. I think he's very attractive to me.
Yep.
Um, but and he seems to be relatively supportive. But I got my eyeballs on him, and if he's really not supportive, if he's trying to any kind of way backstab her just to get her home to have his sixth child, no, I'm not with it. And you're right. If he's that guy, then yeah, she gonna need her a new husband, and she can marry somebody her own age and get rid of the zaddy. So Auntie Roz says at the end of the last season, I was done with them all because they couldn't get through. They couldn't get through one single brunch without fighting.
They can't get through it.
And
They
this
just can't.
season, and this season they open up with another doozy. So we about to get to that. I know we're slow rolling it, but we about to get there. We got a couple more cards. We about to get there. I wanted to see what happened between Marie and that husband.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm.
Marie. Oh, and the very effeminate husband of hers. I can't think of his name right now, but
She said there was a lot of cheating with him as well.
was he cheating with a man or a
I
woman?
don't know.
'Cause he very feminine. I can't have the how people have us believing it. Okay. Roro for real says the Sosa. Wow, what did your mom do with the bill? Mm,
Mm,
probably didn't pay it.
right.
Oh, that's funny. And I do remember that's funny, yeah, because you could back in the day, you could send bills to other addresses. That's funny. Um, okay, I guess
Kenyo.
Angela's telling us that Kenya is garbage. Well, she's a Detroiter, so I can't agree with that. Also threatened to punch Phaedra when she was pregnant. I don't
Mm.
remember that part. Also said her son would end up in jail, tried to break up marriage, and pulled out Kim Field. Okay,
That's
all
the
the
Real
seasons.
Housewives stuff.
I know what it is. I know
Mm.
exactly. As soon as she said Kenya, I know it's Real Housewives of Atlanta. And like I said, I used to work with Kenya, so I don't know. I don't know. And I actually be honest too, I didn't see that season where a lot of that happened because I fully missed the season with Kim Fields, and I don't know why because I love Kim Fields. Um, Angel, people can evolve, and Kenya has. Watch the current season. Thank you, Mocha. Mocha, let me give you a hand. Okay, and then one more. We'll do one or two more. High Vibe says, I was just in North Carolina a couple of weeks ago. Southern men still, thank you. They still practice chivalry. I love it. And that was both young men and older men. Thank you.
Mm. Oh,
Again,
okay.
Alex, he likes
Excellent.
to exaggerate. I don't know. Sometimes when you hang with a certain group of people, you got to be careful to
Mm.
put your friends' bad behavior on other people because everybody ain't moving like that. And in some circles,
Mm.
you absolutely cannot behave like that. Mocha Mima says, "High vibe. Nothing beats a nice Southern gentleman." Yeah, I'm looking for one of those myself, Mocha. If you got any, inbox me, DM me on Instagram, girl. You know where I'm at. You know where I'd be right there on that. Actually, Aubery, on IG. Roz, one more. 50 and above, can't twerk, don't have all that energy, and things are stacking. That's right, Roz. You tell them, girl. I'm so glad we got you on here talking to
Oh
us.
Lordy.
I talked to our Roz earlier today, and I was like, "Well, why you don't never say nothing on our live videos?" And but we
She
got her on
talking
here
today.
today.
She talking today.
She talking up a storm, and Ella V is here for it. She's like, "LOL, Roz. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead."
Mm. Lordy.
Oh, wait a minute. One last one for you. You read that one since you're all into Janet Jackson.
Yeah, high vibe. But Janet Jackson has been performing for decades fully clothed. I'm not mad at one Playboy shoot. I'm not mad at it either. I'm just saying it happened.
Right. He's got an answer for everything. So, child, we know Alex gonna be Alex. He gonna be Alex in no matter what. Okay. So, the impact of this person with Marie with her mother. I'm gonna say this, and then we can move on. Unless you have something to add to this,
No,
but
I'm done.
I'm just gonna say this. I feel like Marie, we're gonna see the impact in the next couple of slides, the next couple of notes, because Marie, her behavior. If you stop and look at it, whatever age, I think her mom left the household at 8, was removed so that she could get help, and her father took full responsibility of raising her as a child. I think you will see that the behavior of Marie at the brunch is about a 8, 9, or 10-year old emotionality, the emotions of an 8-year old. So think about that when you see, and this is what I'm talking about when I said that I had to go back and watch it a second time and why I'm able to give some grace to Marie. But I also feel that I don't give full grace because here's the thing: you have money, you have education, you have access. Get yourself some help. I'm speaking directly to you, Marie. Get yourself some help because your life could be so much fuller and so much better if you took advantage and got yourself some help.
Mm.
That's what I'm saying on that. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. You want to get to the brunch now? Because you're leading into it. And
mm-hmm.
I definitely echo with what you're saying 100%.
Okay, I'm just going to show this card right quick. I wonder what the lack, and that's what I was saying. I want to leave this. I want to put this up here for our replay gang. If you're watching this on a replay gang, uh, please leave us your thoughts and comments and opinions in the comment section below. Alex and I always go back and we respond to almost all of the comments. So don't be afraid. If you disagree with us, don't be afraid. As long as you do it respectfully, we look forward to responding to your thoughts and comments. And maybe you saw something in this episode that we missed. So be
Right.
sure and leave that too. Um,
Yeah. But Aubrey, this is clear with Marie. Are we going into the brunch now? because
Running late. Okay, running late. Latrice arrives late, and we notice that Marie's whole demeanor changes. What the H? What the heck? LOL. While Akeisha's plate is dirty and her waist isn't as small enough as she wants it to
uh,
be, she's
you
got
gotta
all
stop
kinds of
with this.
issues. Everything is wrong, and she's the great grand dame of Jackson, Mississippi.
Mm,
Um,
yeah,
the game starts. The game starts where they're supposed to go around the room and say something nice about each this person. They pick the name out of the hat, Latrice, and when they get to Marie, Marie can no longer take it. She gets up and leaves, goes to leave, but winds up in the men's room. Okay, Alex, give your thoughts. So we're gonna wrap this
yeah.
up.
This is clearly evident. Now, Latrice invited Marie. They're supposed to be very good friends, close friends,
Yeah, we saw that
and
first
Marie
season.
was
Yep.
there to support Latrice apparently. But if she really wanted to support Latrice, she would have not come. Because you
Hmm.
made a disaster of your friend's brunch. Now you had other distractions like Akila with the plate, the dirty plate, and this other kind of stuff going on. We already know what she's going to give us this season because she's just a snooty uppity chick. Okay,
Right.
but Marie clearly has some childhood trauma. Okay, clearly, and then everything else that's going on, that she's taking care of her grandkids, she's taking care of her son, her husband, who she said cheated a lot, whether with men or women, as Aubery stated. We don't know that, but she said to relate to what her friend Latrice is going through, her husband cheated a lot. Okay, she's building business. She got a lot of different businesses she's running. Her mother's an addict. She loves her mother. It's been going on for years. She needs some therapy. She needs to see somebody because this is going to go on and go on, and she is going to snap. She's a time bomb right now.
Hmm.
Okay, she had no business at that brunch. She does not like half of those women anyway. So half those women are really nothing but triggers for her. So
Hmm.
she shouldn't have been there. And I blame Latrice because let her leave. Don't chase behind her. Don't. That's a fully grown woman. That's not a 5-year-old. Let her leave. Leave her alone. Okay. She don't.
Exactly.
She don't have to come back to the table to make everybody else miserable. Let her leave. Okay. You can love her later. Y'all can talk later. You're friends, but don't destroy the whole event because she's in her feelings and she was triggered and had a meltdown. Because that's what she had. She had a meltdown. Period.
She did. She had a meltdown, and the thing about it is you're exactly right. Finally, I agree with you. You don't get up. You're the hostess of a banquet, or brunch, or whatever event. You don't get up to follow somebody childish, immature behind into the men's room. That's what I'm not going to do. You're my friend. I'll check on you later when the event is over. Because to me, and I wouldn't be surprised if production has something to do with this and they wouldn't allow her to leave and they recommended that she stay for that scene to finish out because it had to finish out. But here's what I'm not going to do. You'd have finished it out and the camera would have been over there talking, watching you and her friend, was it Essie May? But I would have been
Ooh.
over here. I would have still been over here hosting my brunch. And I would have talked to you later on when I got home after I had soaked, taken my shower, and had my couple of sips of wine, because that's when I would have talked to you. Because now you're behaving, like I said earlier, like an 8, 9, or 10-year-old who didn't get the attention that you so desperately crave from your mother, which is your absolute right as a child to be loved by both your parents and everyone else around you, grandparents, aunties, uncles, to be loved in a proper way. But because you didn't get that attention and you haven't gotten apparently any help, any therapy, any coaching about how to manage your emotions, you are absolute wreck. And you're going to wreck every brunch. You wrecked the brunch from last season, you wrecked this brunch, and you don't want to take responsibility for it. I never see her take responsibility. It's always that I think that Latrice did this, that, the other to destroy my business, but you don't know that. You don't know that. I've not seen any receipts or proof that she knows. Is there anybody in the chat? If you know of something, or you have receipts, or you've heard her say receipts, please correct me. I'll stand corrected. It's just my opinion. But I've not seen anything that Maria has said to show any proof. Have you, Alex? Have you seen any proof?
No, no. And think about this too, Aubrey, and for our viewers. Marie's life, as accomplished as she looks, as pretty as she looks on the outside, Her
Mm-hmm.
life has been consistent trauma, consistent since she's been a child. Going through this with her mother, right? Her dad had it rough dealing with her mother, so she had to watch her dad go through this as well as whatever her mother was or wasn't doing. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
then get married. That's trauma because what he did was cheat and treat her bad. Okay, then she have her own children, and the grandchild to one of the mother to one of the grandchildren gets unalived. More trauma, 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 and she's not
Mm,
dealing with none of it. She's just letting it build up and build up and build up. I don't want her to explode, okay, and
that's a
end up
good
doing
point.
something that she's going to regret. Okay, so a quick decision can have long term implications when you just snap like that. So she needs to get some help ASAP before she gets to that boiling point.
Wow. We're trying to look up your channel, and because you don't have your name linked, it makes it harder for our moderators to find, for Ellen to find.
Is that a poke at me, Aubery? Are you poking at me again?
I think the poke comes from the opposite direction. I'm not one to do much of a poking. I don't have the necessary tools for that.
Oh, jeez. Magnetic repellent is my channel. It should be coming up. I posted a new video today, so you guys should see that
It
as
it
well.
it takes a while. It could take us sometimes up to 100 videos for your channel name to show and search. If you had your name on it, it would make it a lot easier.
Okay, I'll add that. Okay.
Okay, so
Mm,
just a thought.
okay.
Yeah, Roro, thanks for trying to help. It's hard. Okay, we did find it. Okay, looks like we found it. I'm gonna put it up. Thank you, Ellen. Ellen, again, you are moderator extraordinaire. Guys, hopefully you're liking the video and you've actually liked it. That's free 99. We want to thank you for being here for our first coverage, and we know this was episode 2, so we're getting caught up. And Alex is going to watch season 1 so he can get caught up.
Yeah.
We will be back again about the same time, or maybe an hour earlier, because I was having some personal difficulties. So we will be back next week, and also we'll be back on this coming Sunday. We'll be back with our 18 panel for our Ready to Love Miami review, which Alex is a part of. But I don't know, Alex he may be out of town this weekend. But we're gonna have a lot of other people, including some actual Ready to Love alum. We hope to see you then. Alex, you got anything you want to share with them about your channel and what's going on, and what you got a new video up, I think,
Yes,
today.
yes, yes. Real quick, I posted a new video today. It's a short video, about 4 minutes long, and it's called Parking Pet Peeve. So please go look at that. Share your pet peeves. But I have an issue with a parking pet peeve that really bothers me. It's always bothered me. So I'm sure everybody here has a pet peeve. Go to the video, go to my channel, Magnetic Repellent, watch the video. In the comments, share your pet peeve, and we could discuss it.
Yes, right, guys. And thank you guys for being here once again. We thank you. We applaud you. Thank you, A-team members, Alan V, Monique, Roro for real. I'm trying to see. I don't want to miss anybody else that was here. Alex W. Leath.
Yeah.
Okay. And
And
then
also
Alleged.
hit that super chat, the Cash App for Aubery.
Yeah.
Join. Let's get some more members for
Yeah.
Ashley Aubery, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Join the membership. We will be doing another live coming up. I haven't scheduled it. Alex and I will have to coordinate it. We'll be doing another live. We want to thank you guys. We're going to get on out of here because Alex is giving me a headache, and I hear a glass of wine calling me right now. Alex, you have a great evening, and we'll talk to you. We'll see you guys real soon. All right.
Bye bye, everyone.
All right. Bye now.